If you guys want to get some amazing controller grips and accessories, then check out fatalgrips.com and use the code Kyle_Burke for 10% off. What's going on, guys? Kyle Birkwood here and welcome to another video. Now today I'm going to be talking about what I think is going to be the next YouTube boxing event, or who it's going to be between, because if you don't know, we just recently had the KSI versus Logan Paul fight happen on the August 25th, and there's been a few people that actually got called out by a few people at the event, and today I'm going to be talking about what I think is going to be the next boxing match, if there is one, next year. So leave a like and subscribe, but let's get straight into it. Also, I do just want to say that I have just literally finished recording my opinion on the KSI versus Logan Paul fight, so if you haven't seen that video yet, I recommend you go check it out. But yeah, basically, obviously we just recently had the KSI versus Logan Paul fight, and not only that, but Deji and Jake Paul had their fight as well, and a few undercards. Now obviously after these fights they all had speeches and stuff. Jake Paul decided to promote his new merch line that he's bringing out. I don't know why he did that, but anyway, and not only that, he actually called out Chris Brown. Obviously they had the fight, and obviously, people were waiting to see who was going to win, and obviously after the fight they all had a speech. Now basically what they did was they stood up in the ring and they basically just got asked questions and stuff, and basically saying stuff to the crowd and like saying a little speech before they go, like walk off, and turns out Jake Paul actually called out Chris Brown. Now this leads me to my first little event that could potentially be happening next year. Now I've just put these together, by the way. This is not confirmed. This is what I think could be the next YouTube boxing event, because I've got this information from who's been called out, and therefore I've put them together and basically figured out who might be the next, or who might be boxing next. So as I just mentioned, Jake called out Chris Brown, which could potentially lead to Jake Paul versus Chris Brown if there is another boxing match next year. And not only that, Anisson Gibb had his fight, and after it, obviously, he had a little speech too, like all the other boxers had, or whatever you want to call them, YouTubers. It's kind of weird because there's YouTubers boxing, but they basically had a speech too. So when they had their speech, obviously Anisson Gibb walked off the ring and actually called out Joe Weller. Now it was kind of awkward for Joe because he was on the commentary table with True Geordie himself and someone else. Like I don't know what his name is, but yeah, Joe Weller was actually one of the commentators at this fight, and Anisson Gibb actually called him out after his own fight. So that leads me to the next event, which could potentially be Anisson Gibb versus Joe Weller. Now let me know what you think. Let me know if you want to see these boxing matches happen. Now like I said, this is not officially confirmed or anything like that. Nothing has been said about this. I've just literally put these together from what I've heard by the call outs on the previous boxing match, which was the KSI versus Logan Paul one. So let me know what you think, and let me know if you think there's going to be another boxing match next year. If you think there's going to be another boxing match next year, what YouTubers do you think it will be? Let me know in the comment section or on Twitter at Kyle_Birkwood. To be honest, I reckon Anisson Gibb versus Joe Weller, which would actually be quite a good boxing match. So let's talk about who I think would win if they would ever happen. Like I said, they might not happen yet. This is just literally something I've put together. But if Jake Paul versus Chris Brown, I'd probably say Jake Paul. I don't really know Chris Brown too much to actually know whether or not he's going to win. So I'd probably say Jake Paul for that, but I'm not really sure. Anything could happen. And possibly like Anisson Gibb versus Joe Weller. Who do I think could win that? Probably Joe Weller, to be honest. Like, obviously he did well in the boxing match last year, because as you may know, Joe Weller and KSI had a boxing match last year and he did quite well, but however KSI did win last year too. But still, Joe Weller did well last year, and I do know Anisson Gibb, but I don't really know him. Well, I don't know him in person, obviously, but you know what I mean. Like, I know him on like YouTube platform. I don't know him enough as to whether or not he's gonna win. So I know Joe more, to be honest. So I'd probably say Joe. So like I said, let's go over again. So Jake Paul versus Chris Brown. I'd probably say Jake Paul would win, obviously because I don't really know Chris Brown that much. And Eason Gibb versus Joe Weller. I'd probably say Joe Weller could win, potentially. But let me know what you think anyway, and let me know what you think the next YouTube event could be, if there is another boxing match next year, which there might not be. However, we've still got the Logan Paul and KSI rematch coming up yet. Anyway, so we'll soon find out. But yeah, that's pretty much that. If you enjoyed the video, make sure to like and subscribe. So it was a short one. I just wanted to get this video out the way just to share my ideas with you guys. And like I said, this is literally something I've put together. This might not be correct or anything like that. This might not even happen one bit. But yeah, this is pretty much what I think. So let me know what you think in the comments section. I hope you all enjoyed the video. If you do, make sure to like and subscribe, and I'll catch you guys in my next video. Adios.